Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. So it's been several weeks since I last did a kind of thrift store update of DVD finds, and that's because for most of January I've not been very well with the flu. But recently I have been out and about again. Possibly some of my finds might suggest that maybe I wasn't properly over the flu and maybe I still had a bit of a head cold. Some strange decisions maybe. But let me know your thoughts on what I'm about to show you. A mixture here of some DVDs, some books, also a few finds from Walmart, which weren't thrift store finds, but just low price. So here we go. Now, first up, actually, it's not a DVD, but this is a CD selection. And what I have here is a celebration of Peter Sellers. Really lovely cover on this box set, don't you agree? But yeah, this is a comprehensive 4 CD set of lots of recordings from Peter Sellers from lots of different time periods that also include recordings from The Party that he did with Sophia Loren and yeah, several of other of his movies. So a huge amount that's on here. It's quite good fun. I've listened to the first CD on this set, and inside we get this quite nice booklet as well, which has got lots of information in it. As well as I like this is a sort of a selection of the kind of press kit leaflet information that used to advertise some of his movies. So yeah, nice combination there. Now on to the DVDs, nothing really exceptional here, but yeah, first up we have White River, also known as White River Kid. Quite a multi-star cast this, Bob Hoskins, Antonio Banderas, Ellen Barkin, Beau Bridges, Swoosie Kurtz. And if I was to read the synopsis of the story on this one to you, then I think you might realise why this film was a flop. There were way too many things going on in this film by the sounds of it, but nonetheless I will give it a go. Next up, 28 Weeks Later, which was the follow-up to 28 Days Later. Not as good as the first one, but I do really like the beginning of this film, really exciting. And as some of you may know, 28 Years Later has been announced, so that'll be coming out in due course. Never actually watched this Robin Williams one, Jack. I'm sure it's a favourite for some people, as is, I know, Patch Adams, which is another one I've kind of avoided. I know people have a lot of sentimental love for Patch Adams, but yeah, Jack, I will give it a go. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Next, we have Targets with Gene Hackman and Matt Dillon and directed by Arthur Penn. This came out in 1985. It wasn't a big success, but nonetheless, it's one I've been wanting to see for quite some time. Not one I usually see around. Next, we have Goya's Ghosts, and this is directed by Milos Forman, who did Amadeus, starring Javier Bardem, Natalie Portman and Stellan Skarsgård. Next, now back in the day when I did actually buy a few digital codes from iTunes, I did buy Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, but yeah, nice to actually have a physical copy. This one's unopened, so yeah, great movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. Next, it's a chick flick, Beaches. Why on earth did I get this? I think it's perhaps because I miss seeing Barbara Hershey. You don't really see her around much anymore. But yeah, directed by Gary Marshall. This was one that made lots of people blub when it was originally released. So yeah, I think I did actually go and see this at the cinema, but yeah, I will give it another watch. Next, from John Landis, this is Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, and it also has Donna Dixon. I forgot how gorgeous Donna Dixon used to be, but yeah, I always remember that scene as well. But yeah, this came out in 1985. I did see it at the cinema. Don't think I've seen it since. Next, we have Liam Neeson in The Marksman, yet another sort of generic action film from him. So yeah, not sure if this one really stands apart from any of the others, but I will give it a watch. Next up, funnily enough, I've never actually had this in my collection, but this is The Green Mile with Tom Hanks, the Frank Darabont film. And next, it's that Star Trek film that's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it. So yeah, I did quite like this one. I'm not a huge fan of the sort of modern Star Trek films, but I do remember quite liking this one. Okay, that's it for the DVDs at thrift stores, but I did go into my local Walmart and there were a few movies that had been knocked down in price. So I did get A Quiet Place Part 2. So yeah, I do enjoy this one. I like both of the Quiet Place movies. This one is not quite as good as the first one, but still great tension, great sound design, really, really entertaining. And just by coincidence, I saw today the trailer for A Quiet Place Day 1 that's going to be coming out in June, starring Lupita Nyong'o and directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig. But yeah, the trailer looks great. I quite look forward to that. Now next, I know probably everyone's got this. It is on Paramount Plus to stream right now, but I don't want to join Paramount Plus. So yeah, Top Gun Maverick, great movie. Now another one that's also on Paramount Plus to stream, but again, I don't want to get a subscription to them at the moment. But yeah, I missed this at the cinema. Very much look forward to seeing it. I know it's really polarizing in terms of what people think of this. For me, I've absolutely loved Damien Chazelle's other films, Whiplash, La La Land and First Man. So I do look forward to seeing this to see what it's like, but I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like it. And then finally, this one was on Disney Plus. I don't have a Disney Plus subscription any longer. But yeah, Prey. I watched this a couple of times when it was on Disney Plus. Really enjoyed it. A new take on the Predator franchise. Very, very entertaining. So glad to have a copy. So that's it for the DVDs, but I did also pick up a few books as well. First up being this one on Hal Wallis, the producer. So producer of movies such as Casablanca, right through to True Grit with John Wayne. So yeah, this should be quite an entertaining read of old Hollywood. And then pleased to find this, a biography on Peter O'Toole. This is an ex-library copy, so it just has that sticker there, but yeah, otherwise in great condition. So I very much look forward to reading this. Anybody who's familiar with my channel will know that I've advocated the films of director John Gilliman, and Peter O'Toole was in a film of John Gilliman's called The Day They Robbed the Bank of England, and it was that film that kind of launched his success because David Lean saw him starring in that, and he then got cast in Lawrence of Arabia. But yeah, I definitely look forward to reading this. And then another one that's kind of serendipitous, if you like, because I've just recently talked about Cactus Flower, which was Goldie Hawn's film debut, which she won an Oscar for. And then I also talked about in my tribute to Norman Jewison, the film Best Friends, which she starred with alongside Burt Reynolds, a very underappreciated film. So yeah, in that kind of context, if you like, I was very pleased to then find this biography on Goldie Hawn. So I look forward to reading this. Okay, that's my mixed bag of finds. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about any of those movies. Do you think I'm still suffering from the flu when I've picked up some of those, or do I seem sane now? I don't know. All right, please do join me again for some more videos. I hope to see you again. Thanks for stopping by on this one. All the best to you. Bye-bye.